In this video, we are going to draft our curtain wall. We need to consider one important point, which is I see usually people draft their curtain wall. For example, they have several levels, and we are going, for example, to have floor, we are going to have column, and we are going to have different floor, which that wall cover that. So some people going to use the curtain wall system from the first floor to the, for example, the fifth floor, and they are just drafting this curtain wall with one element. And for example, the base offset and top offset is from the base level to the end of the level of fifth. But it's going to be wrong later on, because in the visualization situation, most of the time we are going to have a separate curtain wall in our wall, but it also depends on the project. For example, some of the projects, they said it's okay, our structure floor or our floor, if it will be appear, we can see the detail, or even we cover it with some cement material, we cover it and we can see it from our glass wall. It's okay, we are going to have this project later on in our skyscraper. You might have this situation, but right now for this project I'm gonna just create it individually for each floor. So first we need to go to the level A1, and also we need to consider that we are going to have columns in between our wall here and here. So since we have columns here, we need to consider to design two curtain wall, or we can design one direct curtain wall and choose those blocks as a wall or panel as a wall, which is going to be in the location of the column, or we can just simply consider the column from the base. So we will go to the wall and we are going to use the curtain wall system. But before that, I'm gonna use reference line to draft my line here, and I'm gonna move it for 1 meter, and as well as here. So I'm gonna use it here as well, 1 meter, and here we go. The next step is going to the curtain wall and can use, for example, practice 1, because it was in a already we set up some settings such as vertical grid is on number order, so we can use this. Later we can change the name, and we will be sure about turning on the automatical embed, and after that we are going to just grab the line which we created. We create the line to have an equal system, and after that we are going to have our curtain wall created very fast, and we can just use the space to flip it out, and it's in a right proportion and situation, because we pick up the line in a right proportion. If you pick a line in a wrong situation, you might need to move your curtain wall down or back, but now for my project it was right, so it's fine. But we didn't consider our columns here, so this is one of the, for example, problem you might see. We can just press Ctrl Z to create it again. So I'm gonna use the curtain wall, practice, and just going to grab a right line, click a space from here, and I'm going to design it until here. After that I'm gonna design it from here. You can also use a reference line from that line, column line as well. So we are going to have this situation here, because you need to come here, delete this curtain wall, and after that you need to design a new one. It was in a change system, and you just design your curtain wall as well here, and everything looks fine. For example, here the reference line, it give you the dimension 5 it's going to be a better proportion equalization. For example, here we are just going to have 50 centimeter of our wall box, and it's the time for create our curtain wall here. So we need to go to the reference plane to pick up the line. After that, we are going to, I made a mistake to create a very small line, so I'm just gonna use Ctrl Z, reference plane again. I can even use the guideline if it allow me. So I'm just gonna grab one line here, and after that I can just use a different view, pick my line, and use the move tool, grab it for 1 meter. Here we go. The next step is to create the same line here as well. So I'm just gonna use the reference plane again. The shortcut is RP, and I'm gonna use it from this side because it's our exterior side. Here is our exterior side as well. It was equal, so here it's not equal because the angle is different. So I'm gonna just use this move tool, move in the same location, angle 1 meter, and here we go. We already set. We will go back to the shaded mode, and we are ready to draft our curtain wall. So we will choose it and right location. We draft it until here. One escape, location, space until here, and we are going to pick this line to see what's the situation there. We are going to give the 50 centimeter as well because we just need to cover it by a certain dimension. This is the beauty of beam system. You know the dimension of everything. Later on, we can just use the dimension to have the much more detail as we wish. For example, if we go to the dimension, we can just, for example, grab the dimension from here to here, 50 centimeter. So they know this box is 50 centimeter. We don't need our reference plane anymore. So I can just grab and delete it or just leave it there. It's better to delete it. So I'm just gonna take that and delete. That's all. Then we are going to click our curtain wall to see what is the location. The level started at S2, continue until started A1, continue until S2. It's fine. We will see in the 3D view. So we need to change it. I'm gonna use my curtain wall, and after that here you will see top offset. So we need to make our top offset 0. So you will see it's going to continue until the below of your floor exactly. It depends on your project as well. I'm gonna use, for example, minus 50 centimeter or minus 25 centimeter. It's a good actually dimension, but 50 centimeter is much more better. I'm gonna pick my curtain wall again, and I'm gonna change it here, minus 50 plus 50. So from the base also I can have base offset like this. It depends on your project. I'm just gonna use a 0. So our curtain wall for our first floor draft without any problem. The mullion is okay, everything looks fine, and we can change, for example, some of the setting here. Here, for example, there is a bigger opening than here, so we can consider 4x4. We can consider a small amount for here, such as it's kind of half, so we can just use 2x2, apply. So individually it looks better, even though we need to change the horizontal, because the horizontal is the same. So we are going to apply 4 to see. Now it looks better. Then we are going to use this system for here as well. For example, vertical in this panel can be one less than the other. Just use 3. So we are going to see it looks better now. Everything is fine. The size of the mullion, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. For example, I'm gonna change the horizontal from all of them one number below 3. I could just, for example, click all of my curtain wall in 1 second and change the number 1 instead of individual. We have different type of selection, different type of way. So now it looks better. I'm already satisfied. I'm gonna just pick them, and after that use the copy align to selected place level, A2, A3 and A4. Here we go. So we are going to have our curtain system in this floor as well. And also we consider our wall situation for the columns as well too. Everything looks perfect, everything looks realistic, everything looks manageable. But before copy paste, I might have an idea. So we are just going to click in this panel, in this tool. Here you are going to have, in Sunglass, you are going to have isolate element option. I'm just gonna use this isolate option. Go to the right view, and I prefer to have some, for example, design in my curtain wall. I'm just gonna use this panel as well as this panel, and then right click, and so it doesn't give me the opportunity to select the panel. I need to use it individually. Select panel, align vertical. After that, on pane, then I'm gonna use my practice tool to have some individually different design. You can change the number of your practice 2 panel to have more mullion, less mullion, different location mullion. For example, you can even design it by angle. You can make it more, you can make it horizontal instead of vertical, as you wish. I'm just going to click this one as well. Or it is better, I have one idea actually. I can just click this panel, and let's say I'm gonna pick this panel. I'm gonna use select. It depends what type of design you are working. So I'm just going to use it for here. For example, right now I think maybe this design works better in our project, so I'm just gonna grab this on pane. Then I'm going to use practice 2. After that, I'm going to grab this one, select panel horizontal, as you see, but you need to press shift, hold shift, take these out on pin, and going to change it to the practice 2. But we didn't need to do this with this line, because I have one more idea. I'm just going to click this one, select panel horizontal, take it out, unpin. Here we go. Take this, select panel. Oh, my bad. I'm going to do it again. Select panel, unpin, practice 2. Looks perfect already. I'm gonna take this one as well. Select panel, or even though, for example, maybe we can use this type of selection filter and we will see, yes. So for example, instead of wasting our time like here, we can just grab it, filter, check none, certain pattern, okay, here we go. Then we can just change it right now by going to the unpin and change our type of curtain wall, but we need to be careful just to click on this filter, none, curtain panel. Alright, change it to practice. Here as well, just click filter, none. We are going to unpin, and I'm gonna just use this one right now. Here we go, again this 3, filter, none, panel. Alright, and we can use a practice. Then I'm gonna use reset temporary isolated, so we are going to have this design and we can use it for the same as here. And you know what, right now the new idea just came to my mind for our selection. I mean, every time if your brain is if your brain is creative, you can just as your wish create a new way to do your project. We go here, left view, for example, instead of selecting all, for example 4x4, I can just go to the wireframe mode and choose this element, actually from this way, and after that I can just use the other option, or maybe let's try it. Okay, then I'm gonna use check none panel. I grab all at the same time, then unpin, practice 2. Here we go. It looks really easy if you know how like creative you are. The power of creation is really magic. So we are just going to click our panel. So for example, right now we have different options. We can just click one by one, but instead of that, wasting our time, we go to the wireframe mode. We will go to here, filter, check none. We can pick up our curtain wall from here, curtain wall, and here we go. For example, it was one of the other methods. Why not? Or instead of that, click one of them, select selection option, select all instance visible in view. You click all at the same time. It's really interesting. Then you go to the copy, align to the selected view, and then we are going to copy paste it here, here, and here. Okay. Here we go. One of the best design we can have for this project. Even we can change the material of our mullion as well. For example, just click your practice tool, go to the edit type, and for changing the material you need to pick up a specific element, because you cannot just give one material to all of your, for example, the texture, all of your elements in one panel, because one panel includes so many elements, such as like your panel, your mullion. So I'm just gonna use the mullion right now here. Select all instance. You can select all of your mullion here, or you even don't need to do that, and you are just going to edit type and change the material here. Aluminium, it's already in aluminium. It depends, for example, what type of material you would like to use. I'm just gonna go for a black, create a new black mullion, and it was a capital letter, it's alright. Asset material, here we go. So what we need is to go to the metal category, and after the metal category we are going to choose one of the black which we wish. We are going to have different option, even we are going to have this option, and you can see here the change. Let's see what's this. For example, this one, aluminium. You can use gold. You can use, for example, black oxide. It's actually a modern material, so I'm just grab this, apply, OK, and OK, here we go. It will take time, of course, because we are doing a very kind of big operations. But now all of our materials, if we pick one of them, of course it's changed because it takes the time. So we are going to pick one of them and we will see the material, black mullion. So far this is the drafting curtain wall, and we can use this method. You can grab your curtain wall lower than your level, upper than your level if you wish. And here is our curtain wall project. In the next video we are going to check for roof columns copy, and we are going to check for the roof patterns design.